Hi, it's me again, Miss Elizabeth, with the key, and we're ready to drive that car. And so today, we're going to extend our learning from phonemes or sounds, letters that match phonemes, that make phonics, and today we're going to continue in the world of phonics to see the idiosyncrasies of our language. As we do this, we're going to talk about meaning of words. You know, when a person wants to read, it's wonderful if you can decode the word. Decoding means it is in front of you and you actually read it. In our system up to this point, we have been encoding, meaning the word and the letters and the sounds come from your brain and extend out to form the word that you're going to write or manipulate, as we saw with our letters on the letter chart. So on top of phonemes and phonics, there's also another component, and that is the meaning of words. Many words have different meanings, and you really don't understand the fact about it until you get an opportunity to talk. This series is designed for you as a designated guide for a student to actually use this key to pull language out of a brain of a person who doesn't even know how much they know. We have pretty good brains. They hear what teachers say throughout the year, and it registers, but often it's not available to be expressed. And the key piece in this literacy discovery that we're doing is to do what comes naturally. Talk. Talk about words. Think of the word S-E-T. Simple. But every time I read set, it's different. I could be playing tennis. Set. That means the score is something. I can set my hair with curlers, though I don't think I need it. I could set the table, or maybe I have a set of golf clubs. Every single one of those definitions of a simple little word is distinctly different. So as we develop in this series, that distinctive features will continue to motivate us to read for meaning. Now, let's prepare your page with 2 pieces of paper, because we are going to turn to a new concept. This concept is a real tricky one, because I've been saying, and Mahina's been saying, that we have to have a vowel in every syllable. But what happens when you have a word like card? K-ard. I don't hear a vowel, but I know it's a real word. So if you'll take 2 pieces of paper, line paper, because this is your sloppy copy, 1 page would you fold into 3s, hot dog style. And then 1 page you can just make in 2 columns. The reason for this is going to extend across your notebook. So when you write this permanently in your notebook, make sure you have a left and a right side available to you. I'm going to hand this over to Mahina and Nahiku, And they're going to title this page with a word on each column. And I will tell you the spelling of that. And here you go. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, so, ready? And don't forget to label the page we just finished with final silent E. And then you'll have your title and your 5 examples. On these next 2 pages that we folded, I would like you, Nahiku, on the top of the first column, I'm going to ask you to write the first word of a sentence. Now, this sentence does not make a lot of sense, but there's a reason for it. I'm going to ask you to put across your paper, in the first column, I'll let you know how it's going to look. Her, second column, first, third column, nurse, fourth column, works, fifth column, early. Romualda Spalding, many, many years ago, said, her first nurse works early. So, in your very best writing, but keeping in mind, this is just a sloppy copy, you will begin your sentence with uppercase H. And ladies and gentlemen, just make an uppercase H. If you're in cursive and you don't know how to make a cursive H, do it in print. So, her,
H, E, R.
second column, first, 5-letter word. F, I, R, and what are the last 2 letters? S-T. Her first nurse, third column, lowercase letters, nurse, 5 letters. N-U-R-S-E. Fourth column, her first nurse works. W-O-R-K-S. And in the last column, we're going to write the word early. E-A-R-L-Y. And Nahiku, would you repeat that sentence, touch and tell?
Her first nurse works early.
Great. Everybody say her.
Her.
What's the vowel sound? Do you hear it?
Her.
There is no vowel sound there, but the r that we learned in our pictures that were phonemes and sounds coming out of our mouth, that becomes So H-E-R-E, the E-R has a diacritical mark that wiggles above the A and the R. So above that A, it is controlled by the R. So above the A, instead of a smile, instead of a long line, you're going to find a wiggly.
Miss Elizabeth, it's an E.
It's an E.
Her.
We're on her, okay. Yes. So ER becomes that wiggly little sound.
Over the E. Yep. Okay.
So H, E, R gets this tilde above the E. I call it a tilde. Some people call it a tilde. That allows this R to really control this E. Next word, what do you have? Her.
First.
First. Where's the vowel sound in first? And it is a true So you will, again, put your tilde or tilde above your vowel, I. Next one, her first. What's the third
Nurse.
column? Nurse. What do you think? Yes. Where does that diacritical mark go?
Over the U.
That is correct. And the next word in the next column?
Works.
Works. What do you know?
Dietary line above U.
Diacritical.
About a diacritical mark
Diacritical.
above the O, that wiggly one. Very good. And the last word?
Early.
Early. Where is the vowel sound in early? Yes. And what two vowels are helping that R?
E and A.
Correct. So you would put that shape above the E and A. Just stretch it out a little bit. Those are the sounds. And the reason that this is important, if we think back when we were doing our sounds in our mouth and we got to the letter R, you have to remember that R says R in the back of your throat. But when you add vowels to it, you get a much more distinct sound of and it's clear. So we're going to do a few words before we end our session today under her first nurse works early. The first word that I'd like you to put there is a word that you've known for a while. The word is serve. Repeat.
Serve.
All right. You know what's your vowel sound going to be? So begin your word. Spell it. S. And your will be?
So E.
ER for that
Serve.
Serve.
V.
Yes. What do you know about all English words? They're not allowed to end
With the U or a V.
That is correct. So how are you going to spell the word serve?
Ending with the silent E.
You are correct. Good. All right. Your next word is dinner. Repeat.
Dinner.
How many syllables?
Dinner. 2.
Good. And from now on, Nahiku will be making a little space between her syllables because we want to show your eyes what you're doing. So let's write dinner. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Are we organizing these things?
Yes, we're going to do 2 in each column.
Okay, so it's still
Skip a line and stick with ER.
And we're putting a space in between the 2 syllables.
Yes, ma'am.
So dinner.
Yes.
D.
Yeah, but that's look carefully.
B.
Yeah, cross that out. Yeah.
What's your first syllable?
D. Oh.
Start with the C. Remember? For the D, when you're making a D, start with your stroke, your distinctive characteristic stroke, starts with a C.
It's okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So your first syllable is what?
The
Din.
din.
Very good. You have 3 letters. What do you have for din?
Din. D-I-N. Din.
And the second syllable?
Ner.
Say it again. Look in your mirror.
Dinner.
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 Is it a dinner?
Dinner.
Listen again.
Dinner.
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 Yeah.
Dinner.
Din.
How many n's do you hear?
2.
So your second
Din.
syllable will begin with a n. And followed by what 2 letters after the second n?
N-E-R.
Good. So dinner. Let's move over to the next column. At the top of your column, you have the word first, correct?
Yes.
All right. We are going to, it's already giving you a hint that the IR is going to sound like Your word is circle. Repeat.
Circle.
Okay, first syllable, sir. And we know it begins with a C. I-R-er. Second syllable, k. What does it say? Circle.
Circle.
Circle. What do you know about the second syllable?
Circle.
Col.
Can you hear a syllable in, can you hear a vowel in coal?
Circle. And over you?
Well, I don't really hear a vowel in col. I just hear
Col.
k-ol. What 2 letters say k-ol?
Call.
So this is right? But what do we know about syllables? Syllables have to have what?
A vowel.
And what vowel are we going to put there since it's at the end of the word?
An E.
Great. That's the only reason you're doing that. So how do you spell circle?
C-I-R-C-L-E.
That is correct.
Circle.
Circle. Those silent E's are everywhere. You have to have a vowel visually in every syllable.
So Nahiko, can you tell me again why we put the E?
You put an E because we need another vowel next to a consonant.
We need, so how many syllables are in the word circle?
Circle.
Okay,
2.
2. Is there a vowel in the first syllable?
Yes.
Yes. So we don't hear a vowel in the second syllable, but we can't have a syllable without a vowel. And that's the only reason why we put an E there at the end. Okay, it doesn't have any sound, but we know we have to have a vowel. So we're going to put the silent E. We're not going to put an A, not going to put an O, we're not going to put a U. It's got to be an E because that's the silent E, and that's the only one that can be silent. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. So do we have 2 words there?
1.
Okay. All right. So today, let's continue with our previous piece, and that is to develop a reference book. At this point, we have our consonants, we have our vowels, and the various sounds that those letters, 26 of them, can do to our brain. Remember, 26 letters conceivably can make in your ear and in your eyesight 47 to 49 different sounds. Will we get to all of those in this series? No. But we will develop a way to access them. And that's what we're going to do. So take out your reference book, go past the consonant and the vowel page. And last you met with us, we went through final silent E. Remember now, there's 5 reasons to put a silent E on your word or to understand in decoding what that E is doing. So we're moving on now to the 5 sounds of Excuse me, it's not sounds we're developing the distinctive letter patterns. So the distinctive letter patterns that fit a very strange sentence we talked about yesterday. Her first nurse works early. So open up your reference book and let's continue. Okay, Nahiku, why don't you, with Mahina, go over the 5 sounds of and tell us what you have already in your columns.
Okay, Nahiku, can you read our sample sentence, please?
Yes. Her first nurse works early.
Excellent. Nahiku, what's that weird squiggly line over some of the letters in each of those words?
It's called a tilde representing the sounds.
Oh, that is wonderful to know. Okay, why don't we look under the her column? And what are the 2 letters that are making the sound in that column?
ER.
Excellent. Can you tell me what that first word is under her?
Serve.
Serve. Beautiful. Beautiful. And how about the second word?
Dinner.
Dinner. And let's do our hand under your chin, and let's just not forget about our syllables, and let's say it together. Dinner. And how many times did you feel your jaw drop?
Once.
Let's try again. Dinner.
Twice.
Twice. Mine dropped twice. Yeah.
It's very subtle, that because it doesn't open up your mouth like a vowel should. And so it's absolutely bossed out by that R. It's as if the R says to the vowel before it, no care, we're going to just say and that comes out. And that becomes a syllable. Continue.
All right. So, Nahiku, what is the next column? What's the word on the top of the next column?
First?
Yes, beautiful. And how would you spell first?
FIRST.
So what are the 2 letters that make the sound in first?
IR.
Beautiful. So what word do we see below first?
Circle.
Circle. Beautiful. And how many syllables did you hear in the word circle?
Circle. 2.
Yeah, Maikai, 2 very clear syllables.
And how do you spell circle?
CIRCLE.
Why does it have an E at the end?
Because there's a rule where a syllable needs a vowel.
That's right. And how do you spell serve?
SERVE.
Why'd you put that E on there?
To represent the rule of syllables needing a vowel.
And no English word can end in
V,
or.
U.
That is true. When you look at your resource book that you're making, it's very possible that you would benefit from just putting that dotted line across the E to remind you of the 2 rules that you just repeated. Also, I would like to ask you, Nahiku, when your guide teacher says to you, what letters do you see? Remember, you see them and you're going to say them, but your instructor, your guide, did not tell you to write them. And when that happens, it's a perfect time for your brain to write either with your fingers in the air or on the table, because you're still reaching every one of your senses: touch, tactile, hearing it, and seeing it. So from now on, I'm going to ask her, when she repeats spelling, she writes it in the air. So we get more senses stimulated at the same time, because sometimes one of our senses is not so good. And so instead of trying to rearrange what our senses are that we naturally are good at, the truth is we have weaknesses and we have strengths. And they all go back to the brain. And so when your weakness is there, your strength pulls you up, pulls you up. All right, let's continue. So we have her first, nurse. And how did you spell nurse?
And
Spell it in there. Yep.
N, U, R, S, E.
Yes, very good.
That's beautiful handwriting.
And it also improves your handwriting. All right. Nahiku is ready to continue, and she also has manipulatives in case she wants to sound something out and use those phoneme blocks. So, Nahiku, your next word is third. Third. Repeat.
Third.
Okay, what do you know?
Third. That it sounds like there's 2 syllables.
Okay, let's try it again.
Third.
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 Just 1.
True.
Third. Third.
That is correct. There are 3 distinct sounds in third. Now you may write them.
Third.
Ladies watching and gentlemen watching, remember.
And then can you also say as you write?
T, H, I, R, T.
Correct. What's your word?
Third.
Third.
I love the way you used your manipulatives.
The next word will go to the next third word of our sentence. Her first nurse. All right? Nurse. Well, sometimes we need a nurse and sometimes we need a church. All right. What do you say about church, Nahiku?
Church. Very godly. Church. Oh. Church. 1.
Yeah. syllable.
Church.
One sound comes
One
out.
sound. So it's this ch or chur. Ch.
Church.
Ch.
Chur.
Ch. Did you hear a repeated sound?
Church.
Are you pleased with how you put that out in phonemes or sounds? Does the beginning sound like the ending sound? Say it again.
Yep. And touch each
Touch
one
and
go
tap.
Chur.
The
That-
one sound.
Chur.
Ch.
It does sound like similar
Correct.
sounds.
Yes.
They are the same sounds.
And what letters represent the ch sound?
CH. Right?
Correct? Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Sometimes we want you to ask yourself the question and answer it, but correct. You are correct.
CHURCH.
Yeah.
Is that a question or are you telling?
I'm telling.
You are telling,
That's
not
right.
telling. You are telling. Yes. Look at that. Beautiful.
All right, very good. And moving, I'd like to give you another one in the page because this is a surprise. Your word, Nahiku, is surprise.
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 So let's. How about we do this first? Yep.
Surprise. 2.
Yes.
Ease.
So touch each manipulative.
Eyes.
Surprise.
Here, why don't you write that first syllable down in that UR column?
Sir.
I mean, SIR.
Well, what column? Oh, we're back over here. We're still under the. We're still under nurse. We're still under the UR. Sir.
And what do you think those three are? Yes. What letters are you writing?
SUR.
And now you will make a space for that second syllable. Nahiku, say surprise.
Surprise.
Say surprise without the sir.
Pies.
Is it a surprise? Listen.
Surprise.
Try, get out your phone. Nahiku has nice language coming out of her mouth. She needs to hear it better.
Surprise.
Right. Keeping your phone there, say surprise without the sir.
Prize.
Very good. That is your second syllable.
Why don't we move that syllable
Away.
just off to the side. So there's your first, there's your sir. Now this is your second syllable. Your second syllable is prize. So let's-
Repeat.
Surprise.
Okay.
Eyes.
Do your I first. That's the vowel that made your jaw open. I.
Sure. Sir. Eyes.
Correct. What are you going to write?
P. In R.
Yeah.
Correct.
IE.
Why would you put an IE there?
So I can say its name.
Very good that you said that, but this is a perfect time for us to interject that so often we are given many spelling patterns for the same sound. And Nahiku, what you're doing is you're pulling out something in your brain that we have not reviewed in this series. And please trust me and Mahina that we are not going to ask you to do some of the other patterns until you become automatic with the simpler patterns because they're more prevalent in the English language than an EI or an IE together. So, having your guide help you now, let's finish prize.
Okay, so we have the sir. That was excellent. And we have the p, right? And we have the r.
Is it a Y?
Pra. It's a what? No. You had the letter correct. And I know that you were thinking of this rule, right? And the rule had to do with making the I say it's, right? And you know that the E at the end. However, we missed something. And I'll just write it over here. So we have the vowel, right? And then we know that this is the magic E that's going to make this say its name. But what did we have to have here?
An S.
A consonant, right? We have a vowel, consonant, and then the magic E that skips over and will make the I say its name. It's not an S. Surprise. The S sometimes can make that sound, but unless I don't know how to spell surprise.
Surprise has an S.
Okay.
And it's the second sound of
There
S
you go.
from the first page that we did. And that's
So it doesn't help when the guide does not know how to spell the word herself. And I have to tell you, Nahiku and Miss Elizabeth, that is one of the words that forever challenge me. Surprise and exercise. I exercise all the time. I still have a mental block in my head about some words.
Yes. And we all have mental blocks. And we all have to remind ourselves by talking to ourselves. So what you now have discovered is that most often, if you hear that sound at the end, it's possibly going to be an S, but it's that second sound of S that sounds like a Z. But remember, there's another letter that can sound that way too. That's that C before EI or Y can sound like in ice. Prize. The same sound, similar, but different spelling. And that is the English language, why it gets so confusing. So Nahiku, go back to that and let's see it.
You want to finish off your word?
And let us know what you're doing.
R-I-S-E. Surprise.
Beautiful. How
All
about
right,
you
very good.
spell it in the air as you say it? And you know what? I'm going to do it with you because clearly I have a problem with that word. You want to do it together?
So this is using all your senses. Go.
Let's go for it. Go. I'm not left-handed.
Okay.
Okay.
S U R P R I S E. Surprise.
And the pleasant part of that for me was seeing you make your letters. There was no doubt in my mind that you knew how to make your letters. So people out there, remember, you have to be automatic with your letters. All right, let's continue. One of my pet peeves in the column are the days of the week, ladies and gentlemen, students, boys and girls, and old folks. Thursday is a day that we have. Saturday is a day that we have. And both of those days have what sound? They are URs. So let's first do Thursday. What do you know?
Thursday. 2 syllables.
Ah, beautiful.
D. Ace.
Can you touch each manipulative now and say the sound?
D. E. E.
How about picking up your phone and saying the word? And then listen to yourself carefully as you say it.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
First. A.
Stop there. And I'll tell you why. That A is going to be spelled a different way that we have not reviewed. Let's see how Nahiku does.
D. Wait. First. Ace.
Very good. Touch and tell.
First. A.
Very common error. How do you spell day? Do you know how to spell day? All right, in the air, spell day. She's starting with her circle. D. How many sounds in day?
2.
But it's spelled with 3 letters. Okay, you have now discovered what AY says. What does it say?
A.
You are correct. A, represented by 2 letters that make 1 sound.
Excellent.
Very good. And write that down.
T. H. U. R. S.
Very good. That's your first syllable with a space.
D-A-Y.
Beautiful.
And the word
Thursday.
is
Thursday.
Very good. Now, one more day of the week. That's my pet peeve. Saturday. Give it a try.
Is it sat?
Yes, it is sat. How many syllables? Let's go back. Sat.
Days.
That's right.
Three.
3 syllables. You got it.
Correct. Sat.
Days.
That's right.
Okay. Touch
You
and
may
tell.
have to change your first letter color because it's a different one.
And touch and tell. Sat. Sorry.
Okay, separate it. That's your first syllable.
What sound is this? How about s?
Sat.
Okay.
You
You already have your
Oh.
sat. You already have your t.
That's only one sound. That's right.
Days.
Just make it singular one day.
One day.
You put a s at the end, which you didn't need to. Just Saturday.
Saturday.
Very good.
Touch and tell one more time.
Days. Day.
So now you're pow with the t.
Days.
Yes. Very good. Now go ahead and write it.
T. A. Oh, S-A-T.
You wrote it correctly, yeah.
And what column are you in?
The next.
You're in your.
Oh, you are. U R D A Y.
And what's the word?
Saturday.
Can you spell it one more time and let's write it in the air?
S A T U R D A Y.
Excellent. And I like the way it looked. And believe it or not, when you practice like this, eventually you can have lights out, close your eyes, get a marker or a crayon in your hand, and I bet you could write Saturday with your eyes closed. We're not going to do it now, but I can tell you that the more you train your brain, the better it is for you. Very good. The next one is in the column that, what's the title of the column?
Works.
Works. Well, we all work. And today the three of us are working for you out there to share with you something that we think is really important. And work is got to be fun and you've got to enjoy it. And my hope is, Nahiku, that at the end of our series, you will have had enjoyment and at the same time, light bulbs going on to let you know that really you have a lot of this in your brain. It's all jumbled up and we're organizing it. So underneath worm, underneath works, I'd like you to write what I found in the plant this morning, which was a nice live worm. And what do you think about the sounds in worm? When you put your hand underneath your chin, you're looking for syllables.
Worm.
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 Correct.
Worm.
Simply that.
Worm.
Worm it is. Notice when she did her beginning sound and her end sound, they're the same color, but they're different shapes, so they're distinctively different and A-OK. Go ahead.
W-O-R-M. Worm.
Beautiful.
Very good. And one more word I'd like to put under this organization is worth. I think worth is a good word because we're all worth getting a little better, and that's exactly why we're here for you. Your word is worth.
How many syllables?
Earth. One.
You are correct.
Worth.
Yeah.
W-O-R-T-H. Worth.
Excellent. Very good. All right, we're going to go to the next column, which is my favorite column, early. That's not my favorite word because I don't really want to get up early. But the word that I'd like you to spell is my favorite word, and it's behind me, and it describes who you are and me and Mahina. Your word is learn. Excellent.
Learn.
How many sounds are in learn? How many sounds did you place there? They're correct.
3.
There are 3 sounds in learn, but there are more than 3 letters. So go ahead.
In this column, yeah, we're early.
L. E.
And you have to do the pattern that is above you. For the sound, you have 3 letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
A. R. N.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what do you have for learn? In the air?
L. E. A. R. N.
And because I like you and you're a person, I'd like you to add another syllable to that that says who you are. What kind of a learn are you?
I'm a learner.
That is correct.
Oh.
And would you add that at the end, even though it doesn't fit the pattern? I would like you to do it because this is about us and we're all learners.
E-R.
That is correct.
Beautiful, Nahiku. What an incredible
So
learning.
that is the construct of the R. And the R is incredibly powerful after vowels. So beware when you see them. All right. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.